Hello, hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are filming with a car that is very special to me. A car that I actually had on my screensaver 10 years ago. It's an icon for me and I cannot wait to go and film with it. But before we get going, as always, this video was brought to you with Squarespace. From online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the perfect place to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Now, if you've ever thought of setting up a website, Squarespace is the perfect place to do it. It really is your one-stop shop. They've got loads of beautiful templates on there to enable you to build something incredibly beautiful, but incredibly quickly and incredibly efficiently. Not only will it look good, but it'll also work really well as well, because they've got tools on there to enable you to build up your SEO. You can build email campaigns, subscriptions, private members areas, all sorts of stuff that you want from your website you can do with Squarespace. Use the code on the screen, you'll save money when building your website, and make sure Squarespace is the place you go to when building a site. It's bye from Connie for now, and let's hit the intro. Hello and welcome back to CGTV, and today I'm bringing something very different to the channel. A friend of mine in London dropped me a message and he said, TGE, I've got a car that you might like. You're obviously a Brabus fan, you have a Brabus in the garage, and I've got none other than a Brabus Rocket. Fun fact, I actually used to have a picture of this car as my screensaver on my laptop many moons ago, and I've never actually seen one in the metal. So of course I jumped at the opportunity to come and film with it. We're gonna do a little walk around. If we're really lucky, we'll get some revs in and go for a spin. We've got the owner here. He's keeping a low profile. He doesn't want to be an internet prat like me, but we're gonna take a look at the car anyway, because that's what you're all here for. Okay then, ladies and gents, here we go. This then is a 2013 Brabus Rocket 800, the fastest saloon car in the world at the time, and 788 brake horsepower with a twin turbo V12 engine. Start to finish, pretty much from Brabus, they have upgraded this car with, you name it, they've gone to town. We're going to pop the hood in a second, but starting price on this car when it was new, I do apologise, we're on the flight path here. We are in London, so you're going to have to put up with that. List price for this car was €430,000 with no extras. So that was the starting price, €430,000. This car actually, I think by the time this video goes live, this car may well be for sale, so I will leave contact details below of this particular car. The young man who owns it needs to fund a project, so he's coming out of this car. This place is havoc. What are you doing? There is no need for that. We'll start with the externals then. You've got carbon diffuser down here, your Brabus exhaust tips with a little B on them. Attention to detail is mega. I sprung this video on him, so it's not completely clean, so don't have a go. I've literally just basically forced this video on him, so he didn't have a chance to prepare. We've got extra aero on there in the form of satin carbon. We've obviously got Brabus badging. We've got the V12 800 badge there, very similar to that on my G500, but only sadly mine says 500, not 800, very sad. We've got the incredible Brabus wheels, Brabus brakes on there, because this thing, believe it or not, will do 230 miles an hour. So you want a good set of brakes, and they've upgraded them. We've also got Brabus valve caps as well. I'm amazed they're still there in London. We've got Brabus side skirts as well, a little bit of extra muscular aero on there as well. Option, sunroof. Very key when you're doing 230 miles an hour. We've got some carbon on the side here as well, Brabus side strakes, and obviously more V12 badging there as well. And look at the size of those front calipers. They've even got carbon on them as well. A little bit unnecessary, but that is what's so great about Brabus. We've got more venting there as well, and round the front, a much more aggressive front bumper, and also venting in there to keep that enormous 6.3 litre twin turbo V12 nice and cool when you're honking around. And we've got the customary Brabus running lights as well. Carbon all across the front. I think it's probably time to check out the engine as well, because it is an absolute monster. And being a proper Brabus Rocket and not something people have just stuck bits to, everything you see in here has Brabus badging. We've got actually, very similar to that on my G500 4x4 squared, we've got these Brabus paddles, more Brabus detailing on there, and one of my favourite features, we've got an IWC clock in the dash there. I think this is from an era, one of the last few Mercedes where they actually really cared about what they were putting out. Another reminder there in the headrest that you're driving one of the most ridiculous cars ever built, and the interior's been through the Brabus workshop as well. They've upgraded the seats as well. We've got Brabus pedals in there. Even got this, which I think, what is that? What does that do? A much more comprehensive Brabus upgrade than my G500, that's for sure. Even got on the steering wheel as well. Under the bonnet then, it's what I can only describe as artwork. Look at that. That is really what you're paying for. That's absolutely nuts. There we go, 6.3 litre bi-turbo, 800 brake horsepower, and signed off there, the engine type, engine number, and the person that built it. That is absolutely nuts. And as you can see, it's not just visual, everything here is structured as well. So this is actually all carbon, not something you get on the standard car. And even the inlays inside here, you can see carbon. This is all carbon fibre, absolutely bonkers. And you can start to see why this car was so expensive from new. 430,000 euros, as I say, brand new without options. This one was probably circa 450, if not more. Nuts. Right, she's fired up then. Jesus, I'm gonna get sucked into there. Listen to those turbos. Even around the edges of here. It's absolutely nuts. Right, let's go around the back. Sounds like a cruise ship waiting to leave the dock. Wow. Oh God, this is the silliest thing I've ever seen. So over 1,000 pound-foot of torque. And fun fact also, this car is the actual car that was at the Frankfurt Motor Show when this thing was launched. This is the actual car, so a really cool piece of history. There are only 8, I believe, known to have been built, and certainly I suspect it is the only one known in the UK. It is a left-hand drive, as all the best cars are, and you've of course inside here you've got the infotainment there, which means you can put wireless CarPlay in there as well. It's a nice easy upgrade, as I've done in my SLS. Further toys you get on this as a result of it being a proper Brabus, you get your Brabus exhaust button there, and you have Brabus mode as well, which I believe just causes complete mayhem. It is an absolute handful. It's rear wheel drive, and I can vouch for the fact that it's absolutely potty. And for those contemplating a purchase but wondering how they'll get it past their other half, it is a very sensible family car. As you can see, it is a 4-seater, but there's plenty of room in there for children, dogs, friends if you've got any, whatever it is. But that is quite a luxurious place to be. And the boot, I mean, it's full of bits and bobs, but demonstrates very well. It's actually very deep. You can get golf clubs in there and whatever else you need, or I suspect some people that like this sort of thing, you could fit a body in there as well. Lovely stuff. Right, let's get this thing on the move then. We'll hear it in motion. Look at that thing. You'd think you were in big trouble if you saw this thing outside, wouldn't you? Nuts, absolutely nuts. Anyway, bloody hell. Right, he's disappeared then. He's clearly had enough of me. I will leave the details for that car, if it is for sale, by the time this video goes out. But I couldn't resist a quick and dirty video with that. I think that's what they call rough and ready footage. Couldn't resist a little walk around of that car. This is probably the first and last, it's probably the first and last time I'm ever going to see that car in the metal. As I say, it's an amazing piece of Brabus history. Brabus are doing amazing things these days. They are growing massively as a company, and they really have established themselves as the, I was gonna say customizer, but I don't actually know how to explain what they do. They've established themselves anyway as the place to be in terms of having anything modified or anything upgraded. What they do is absolutely incredible, and that is a really important part of their history, the Brabus Rocket. They obviously did the previous generation Rocket as well, and I had that as my screensaver. So kind of a childhood icon car really, but I will leave the details below for the purchase of that car, wherever it's listed. And you might need to be quick because they've got a cult following, these things. I don't think it's going to be cheap, but it's definitely not going to be 450,000 euros. So yeah, go and check that out. For now, thank you very much for watching. Do click the link in the pinned comment if there is one. As always, it supports me, it supports the channel. And I'll see you all very soon. Ciao.